Welcome to Tavern Talk 716. Coming to you from 60 feet down in the bunker. Here are the hosts. International best-selling author Keith White Jr. and Duran Gomez.
An episode will happen.
100%.
Oh, and the red light is on. All right, we are here. We are live.
Welcome.
Tavern Talk 716.
Welcome to Tavern Talk 716. I am Lawrence Gomez, a.k.a. Duran Duran, a.k.a. your host of Tavern Talk 716. And joined with me, as always, my co-host.
Wow! I am best-selling children's author Keith White Jr., and I'm pretty sure if you've watched even 2 minutes of any one of these episodes, you know who the host is and who the co-host is. Me. You are the co-host. You're correct. 100%. I agree with him. He is the co-host. He's right. So very good, Duran. Duran is the Duran. What did you call yourself? Duran Drax?
We know. Duran Thrax.
Duran Thrax.
For those of you at home that don't know, I am a man of many hats, and one of the hats that I've donned is announcer for roller derby.
That's a bandana. That is a bandana.
I almost said ring announcer for the roller derby. That would have been inaccurate.
And also, you're wearing a bandana, not a hat. You're also wearing the most golden shirt I've ever seen in my entire life.
Thank you.
And the most pants.
The most Nicolas Cage pants one could have.
Yep. In case you can't see this at home,
I
it looks like
people
he's
at
just.
home?
There you go. That is Nicolas Cage. All over his bottom, and if there's one thing I've known about Duran in all the years I've known him is that he really has always wanted Nicolas Cage all over his bottom. So
I'm not going to dispute that one one iota.
I will say, you look with those pants on, you look like the Giant Gonzalez.
El Gigante.
But he was the Giant Gonzalez when he had the bodysuit.
That is accurate. Yes.
So that looks like that airbrush
Gonzalez with the big burly. What is they trying to make him like a?
He was like a
Yeti?
mountain man or
Like
a
a Yeti?
Sort of. Yeah. It was all airbrush hair all over him. These pants, and especially on camera, these pants look like they're the airbrush Giant Gonzalez pants. And with that beard, you could very well be related to the Giant Gonzalez.
Good man, he's passed.
He is passed. And
We lost good old Uncle El Gigante.
Oh, poor Uncle Giant Gonzalez. We are talking about the same guy, I assume.
I think so.
I hope so. Either way, we are here. The quarantine continues.
The now infamous bunker.
The quarantine continues. We will cheers in a moment, but it is almost summertime out there for all of you watching. And so, in the tradition of summer, there are no real parties or anything because we're still quarantined. So I have decided to make myself a summer shandy as it is almost the summertime. So what you're going to want to do here, this is the cooking section of the show. So what you're going to want to do is get yourself a can of beer. And get yourself a can of diet soda, or regular soda, but lemon lime soda. I'm doing diet soda. I'm trying to watch my girlish figure, as Duran and I both have quarantine bellies that you've seen in many of these episodes. So I'm watching my calorie intake. So I've got Bud Select 55, which is 55 calories, also gluten-free, which is why I drink it. So you're going to go half with that. And then you're going to take your lemon lime soda, which is from Wegmans, because I'm a cheapskate. And then you're going to pour that in there. What's that?
Not that cheap about Wegmans.
Well, there is with Wegmans brand pop. This 12-pack was $2.50. I was going to buy 7-Up. It was like $17 because we're in the quarantine. I was like, I'm not buying 7-Up. 7 down, baby. We're going with W-Up. And so then you'll put
7-Up yours.
Oh, I remember those commercials. That was the guy from Mad TV in those commercials. Then you're going to mix them together, and there you go. You got yourself a nice, delicious summer shandy that you can enjoy with all your friend on Zoom.
And you've done this before?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely, I've done this before. I just did it moments ago. You just saw me. That's before.
No, prior to this.
Prior to today.
Yes.
Oh, no.
So this is new, so you don't even know if it's going to taste good.
This is going to be wonderful because it's on the air, and this is the cooking section. So at the bottom of the screen, through this whole thing, it's going to say Cooking with Keith. I just thought of that.
Doesn't cooking
with
require heat?
I exude heat all day, every day, baby.
Woo! Because you're just prepping.
And I'm cooling myself down with a delicious homemade summer shandy. So up. This is the cheers. Cheers.
Cheers, my friend.
Here we go.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Oh,
now
man.
that we got that horrendous section behind us.
That tastes like summer.
It's time for one of Duran's topics. Duran's topic
Make some more of this.
for this episode is I finished Resident Evil 3 Remake.
Didn't we talk about that last week?
Moving on.
I believe last week you told me you finished it, and you felt that it was too short because you're not much of a gamer and you were able to finish it in a few days.
I feel like I was almost done with it and we talked about that. Now
Right.
I have officially completed the
I
game.
think you officially did, but I have no problem talking about things over and over again. Like when we talked about Poultrygeist, and I mentioned that it was an old rundown McDonald's, and then you argued that it was a what?
Burger King.
In 2 different episodes. And then I went online and looked it up, and it was what?
McDonald's.
It was a McDonald's all along. So his argument was he lives near there, so he should know, and yet still he did not know. So you go ahead and talk about Resident Evil 3 while I continue to show.
I'm going with Mandela effect on this one. That was a Burger King.
It was never a Burger King. They did sell burgers, and I guess you could feel like a king.
Well, I guess we did cover Resident Evil 3 pretty extensively in previous episodes. The one thing I do want to say is a little bit of a Duran review section of
Looks
this
like
episode.
apple juice. That's how you know you did it right.
Is that Resident Evil 3 is the first of the Resident Evil series, and I've played all of them. I thoroughly enjoy the Resident Evil games. Is the Resident Evil 3 remake is the first of the series that I immediately wanted to play again.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, see, now that is not something you said before. That is something I'd like to hear about. So you enjoyed the game so much, you want to go back and play through the whole thing again.
Absolutely. And I learned tricks after I beat it that would have helped me thoroughly throughout the entire game. So I feel like I could have enjoyed it even further.
Wow.
Like the dodge technique. I didn't even know the dodge technique.
Isn't that something they would teach you early in the game?
I must have skipped the tutorial because I consider myself to be an expert
Excuse me.
or a pro, if you will.
Summer. I got some summer.
And I went through the game without the dodge technique, and I want to go back and retry it with the dodge technique because I think I would.
Well,
do
that's
much better.
generally games that are designed to be played over and over again.
But
we do.
that's not the only reason. It was very enjoyable, very very enjoyable. Lot of just loads of fun.
Resident Evil 2, you did not want to play again though, the remake.
Not immediately. I feel like I go back eventually and take a stab at each game again.
A stab.
But that's down the line. You see what I did there? That's down the line. And this one I want to play again right now.
Wow. Well, you
So,
can't because we're in the bunker and
if
we're
you haven't tried
recording
it-
Tavern Talk 716.
If you haven't tried it, try it, Resident Evil 3. I have no affiliation with the game, so you know that it's thoroughly just from a fan aspect.
And you're just a Resident Evil fan. I'd like to know, you said you're not affiliated. Who makes Resident Evil 3?
Yeah, I have no idea.
I just wanted to prove how not affiliated with Capcom you are, in that you didn't know that Capcom released every single Resident Evil game since the first one came out in like the 90s. If I worked for Capcom, I would not be in this bunker right now with you. I would be on my jet somewhere flying around laughing at the peasants who are right now being infected with the T-virus.
And right now, recording online silly
Right.
shows
I might.
in the bunker.
I would just be calling into the bunker and going, suckers, I'm on my jet.
Ha! Joke's on you, we don't have a phone.
Yeah. On you? Joke's not on me. I'm in a jet. I've got 10 phones.
Yeah, but
call
joke's on
myself.
you can call us because we don't have a phone in the bunker.
The bunker doesn't have a
The
phone.
bunker doesn't have a
That
phone.
makes sense. I can see that. Well, what you got to do is run a phone line down the ladder. You run it from your house. Like, I know you're miles from your house. But if you were to dig just a tiny trench, a little at a time, it's a quarantine, nobody's out. So you just dig a trench a little at a time, like maybe like a foot down, and you run a telephone line all the way here, and you just cover it back up as you're
We
going.
need a bunch of those splitters.
You just buy a really long wire from Radio Shack. 'Cause
Radio
those are
Shack
still
isn't
there.
around anymore.
They've got to be doing curbside. So you'll get your really long phone wire from Radio Shack, who I also don't work for, obviously.
I'm pretty sure Radio Shack went out of business as well.
Okay, Circuit City. So you'd
They're
call
out of
Circuit
business
City,
as well.
and you'd have them, DHL you some sort of phone wire. And so
DHL, aren't they? They're not around either. He's on a roll.
But he has no
Keep-
problem
by all
with me telling him
means,
to run
continue.
a phone wire for a home phone all the way here.
Yeah, I'm old school.
Yeah, you're old school. Radio Shack, DHL, Circuit City, you want to hear about. But we'll talk about that rotary phone we're going to run into the bunker. So you'd run this wire.
Can it be rotary?
It can absolutely be rotary. I don't know where you'll find one. We'll have to go to we're going to have to go to like the Goodwill or something to get a rotary phone. I was trying to think of a place that's closed, but we'll have to go to Odds and Ends and get a rotary phone.
Odds and Ends.
Yeah, they're
That's a good one. That's a good one.
So we'd run the wire a little at a time, right?
D&K.
D&K, yeah, you go to D&K. They had headphones, socks, say those bins when you walk in, just rows of bins of random things, coloring books, headphones, socks. You could just get it all out of boxes, just randomly stationed. There's my garbage pail kid cards there.
Yeah.
All the time. Anyway, so you run this wire. I'm going to get there eventually. You run this one, just like the wire, you'd get there eventually. So you run this phone cord, right, and then you run it down the pea-soaked ladder, and you zip tie it all the way down, and you run it across the floor, and then right next to
the ladder piece up again.
Why is it? Because people pee because it takes so long to get down here, and they gotta go down.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say who it was, but it was your girlfriend. Remember? She couldn't make it in time. She was going up the ladder. She ran out of here to pee during like the first episode of the bunker. She didn't realize it wasn't a bathroom, and she ran out of here in the middle of the show to go pee because the show was that good that she left in the middle. She
we
went to go
were
climb-
laughing so hard.
We were talking about how she wasn't gonna make it. And she got about halfway up the ladder and peed and soaked the whole thing down because she was almost at the top. Had she peed at the bottom, no big deal. She made it almost at the top before she peed. She got all the way to the top and just all the way down the ladder.
It's the worst when you almost make it.
Right, and then she didn't tell us, and we got halfway up the ladder, and it was like, this smells so weird. And it was like, and it's so like damp, and what is going on? And she's up at the top, and she was like, oh, I forgot to tell you guys, that's my pee. And we were just like,
And there's nowhere to go.
Right,
You're all the way up the ladder
right,
at this
yeah,
point.
we were halfway up at that point, and it's like, all right. So then we
Man.
climbed down, and we stunk like pee. And then that was, I remember that's the first time I ever heard you say to her, you were just like, I've never been so turned on. And the two of you went running into the car to drive back to the house from the bunker. And I was like, now I know where Duran lives, I'll just follow the phone cord. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you remember all
I
of
mean,
it.
it's all true.
Right.
Um,
Oh, summer. Oh, this tastes like summer. So anyway, I don't even know how we got there. Oh, Resident Evil, right? Because
right. That's all I wanted to say was that
Piece
it's
of
very
glass.
playable. Try it out. It's a fun game.
this was the way better way to pour it. I went half and then half. You just pour them both at the same time. Boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom. Look at that. So,
You're learning cocktails in front of a live audience.
cocktail hour with Keith is happening right now. This is cocktail hour.
Keith's,
It was. I got a
Keith's
cooking.
cocktails.
Keith's cocktails. We had cooking with Keith. I am like, oh my god, I am just like summer.
4 shows are gonna spur right from this one. You got Tavern Talk 716, Keith's Cocktails, Cooking with Keith, Duran and Sissy Fitz, Kinky Sex Hour.
I'm not watching that last one. I was getting excited. I thought maybe Duran was gonna have some sort of like quarantine clothes with Duran, where you can like help people know what to wear while in quarantine. Because if there's one thing I can say about you today, it's fashion. Is that a Star Wars shirt underneath the
Heck
golden
yeah.
shirt? Wow.
Good old Kylo Ren, represent.
You got the gold shirt, the purple bandana, the red, white, and black Star Wars shirt, and then crazy Nicolas Cage all over your buttocks.
And somehow it seems to work.
It works. It works for me. I don't think you've ever dressed better in the entire time I've known you, and I've seen you at the highest and lowest in dressing.
And it's true. You've seen me in every different type of combination I can put together.
I once Duran. I've seen Duran many times, but he used to wear many moons ago a football jersey from Bennett High School. A Bennett High School football
I
jersey.
knew this story was going to come up at some point.
Duran did not go to Bennett High School, but he did buy a Bennett High School football jersey from a crackhead who came to the front door with clothes, just piles of, I don't know, clean, dirty clothes. And he was like, hey, you guys want to buy some clothes? And he had come to the door with these clothes because previous, I don't know, month or two, he had come to the door with a PlayStation 2. And he said, hey, you guys want to buy a PlayStation? And Duran's like, yeah, I do. So
I
Duran
still
buys
have
his
that PlayStation.
You've got an NFL Street with it, which
Yeah.
I will admit we played
We
a
enjoyed
lot of
a
NFL Street.
lot of that game.
That game got played. We all made ourselves in that game. Each of us made ourselves in the game. We were all in it. We all had our own teams, our own colors, and we would play against each other. So anyway, this crackhead, because he told Duran something one time, now Duran was the first visit every time he had new items that he had acquired. So he came to the door and he's got all these clothes. And he's like, you want to buy some clothes? Duran doesn't even really look through them. He was just like, are they men's or women's clothes? And the guy's like, men's clothes. And he's like, I'll take them. He goes, how much you want for them? The guy's like, $5. Yeah, okay. So Duran gives him $5 for these clothes. These huge armfuls of clothes. One of them is a Bennett high school football jersey, which fit Duran and not this real tiny crackhead. So I'm pretty sure it wasn't his jersey. But either way, this football jersey was like worn. It had holes. The numbers were half worn, and it had one hole right on his nipple. So whenever he wore this football jersey, and he would walk around and rock this jersey like he was a football hero. He wore this jersey like he had won the championship in it, like Al Bundy would talk about winning the Polk High championship game. This was Duran in this jersey with his nipple showing. And he'd walk around, and it was like half a shirt because it was like ripped or cut, and it had the nipple out, and he would walk around like, hey guys, what are you guys up to? And he'd be wearing that like sweatpants, and that's it. So like I've seen you at the highs of fashion, which is the outfit I just described.
That one, absolutely.
And then the lows of fashion, which I'm sure if we were just to go back to the archives of the show, people have seen.
Yes.
And then we've got this. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say where this falls. I'm going to let you guys can say in the comments below or on Twitter at Tavern Talk 716 or to us down here in the bottom because it no longer says Keith's Cocktails and now our Twitter handles are down here. You can let us know what you think of Duran's fashion sense. And I want everyone to be brutally honest with what you think of Duran's fashion sense.
Let me let you in on a little bit of the psychology behind my crackhead friend. See,
He was your friend.
Our neighborhood crackhead friend sold, like Keith was saying, sold me a PlayStation 2 once, like $20. They weren't that old.
So many games with it.
And they weren't even that old.
It's the smaller PlayStation 2.
Yes.
It was the second model of PlayStation 2. It wasn't. I'm not saying that the deal was. It was a great deal, and you got all those games. And we played so much NFL Street. Like literally, we would base whole parties around playing NFL Street. And like the drinking and socializing was the people not in the middle of a game of NFL Street. Like that was, we literally based like a chunk of life around this NFL Street that you bought off a crackhead from that PlayStation. So I'm not disagreeing with that. So you could continue. It was a good buy, but it turned into a thing.
Because Keith has brought this up so many times over the years.
Not on the show.
That's true. It's the first time we're filling everyone in.
Summer.
But the reason that I ended up purchasing this lot of clothing featuring the used Bennett jersey was because I experienced such a great deal with the PlayStation 2 that I had to make sure that I remained a stop on Mr. Crackhead's visits. So
you're telling me you
became a frequent customer.
You purchased the clothes so that you could make sure that you were a frequent customer of a crackhead who was stealing things from the neighborhood and selling them to other people. You wanted to make sure you were his number one stop.
Yeah, you gotta stay in his good graces.
A better answer
so he doesn't
is
rob you.
Right. I was gonna say a better answer is I bought from him so that he didn't steal from me.
Yes.
But if he is selling you things, now he knows what he can steal from you.
That's a very valid point, but it didn't happen. So
That's true.
Neither here nor there.
That's true. Only because there was always somebody there. I think the fact is that no matter what time of day or night it was, there was always somebody awake. There was always somebody up because of everybody's work hours and everything.
Yeah.
There was always somebody up. The lights were always on. There was always noise. So I think that he probably came by, was like, I'm going to get that PlayStation back. And every time he come by the house, he was like, damn, they're up again. You'd see people walking around the windows like in Home Alone, or like the Michael Jordan film. Yeah. That was our house all the time, only with people. So I'm thinking he kept coming by and he'd be sneaking up with his mask on. He'd be, they're home. And he'd leave and he'd come. Then he'd, I might as well sell him some stuff. Yeah, I got clothes. And then didn't he steal in the neighborhood? Didn't he steal somebody's, like a bathtub off their front lawn? Like, those bathtubs with the Jesus or whatever in it? You know what I'm talking about? People use those for decorations, like a bathtub, and they put like I'm not religious here, but it's like a Mary or a Jesus or something they put in the bathtub and that like protects it. You know what I'm talking about, those things?
No, I'm not. I'm
okay.
Imagining a deep sink.
Oh, it's whatever. I don't know. It's like, one of those things. Anyway,
okay.
He took one from somebody in the neighborhood.
Right off their lawn.
Right off their lawn.
Yeah.
And then when he went to sell it, he'd forgotten who he stole it from,
and he
went back to the same house.
And that was why.
Classic. And that was why he stopped selling you stuff, because he was arrested because he went back to the house he stole it from to try to sell them back the religious item. I apologize to anyone out there if I'm completely sound like an idiot because I have no idea what that thing was, but it was like, I don't know, it looked like a bathtub, and it's got like a Mary or something inside of it, statue.
Okay.
You've never seen this?
No.
Okay, I think it's a bathtub.
Moral of the story, don't do crack.
Yeah, the moral of the story is don't do crack unless you want to make some money selling crap to Duran. And then all you gotta do is follow the phone wire all the way to the bunker, knock 3 times, and Duran will climb the pea soak ladder and he will buy whatever it is you are selling him, as long as you smoke crack. Speaking of smoking crack, you have a birthday coming up soon.
Hey, wait, what? How did you get there from this?
It doesn't matter.
Moving on.
Speaking of smoking crack, you've got a birthday coming up soon.
Indeed I do.
And
We won't say how old.
And you are, I believe, 47 this year on your birthday.
Well,
in
thanks for that.
quarantine
Thanks
years.
for letting everyone in.
Well, because I'm 29 when I had my
right.
birthday a while back, so I remember that you were always
Just a few
turning.
short weeks ago, yeah?
Right. Yeah, well, many now. It was, that was way back in April.
Yeah, it's still 6.
It's almost summer
just
now.
a few weeks.
Whatever. Anyway, this 47-year-old man, time is like this compared to when you're young. Time goes.
I know.
When you're old,
Every morning I'm like, whoo, we're here.
Woo, 47. So anyway, I have a birthday present for you. We are really we're crunching for time here. We're already 20 minutes into this show.
Score. And we're going to spend the next 25 minutes on this amazing gift. Oh,
because it's about to be. And, every week we're here in front of the comic wall. And I always enjoy looking at these, before we start filming and stuff, sometimes I'll pull them out and I'll be reading them and I gotta toss them up just before the show starts.
It feels like every week he's like, oh, look at this. I didn't even know this was up here.
Yeah, and then some of them I'm like, I didn't even know this was a comic. I didn't know this existed. So I was like, you know what would be a great birthday present is I want to add to the comic wall. I want to add to the bunker comic wall.
All right.
And I was at the comic book shop website, because you can't go into the comic book shop.
Okay.
And I'm looking through, and I saw a comic, and it just screamed Duran to me. And I was like, I have to get this for Duran for his birthday. This is the perfect comic for the comic wall. This is the comic. So I have it here. I purchased it. I don't know why I was laughing.
This could really go in any of the 1 million directions.
This is the back of it, so you can't see it. I want him to see it before you do. I apologize to the people out there, but I want Duran to see his birthday present first. So I'm going to hand this to him so he can see the new comic for the comic wall. Happy birthday to you, my friend. I want you to know this comes from the heart. It's number 1. It's issue 1.
I'm not mad.
You shouldn't be. It's going right on the comic wall.
It is the first
You show the camera, my friend.
issue. Oh, I'm going to
It
get
is the
to.
first
This
issue.
deserves
Number 1.
This deserves a little preemptive
Oh, good, please.
description.
Yes.
This is a number 1 issue. So therefore, within a few short years, this is going to be worth something.
Oh, yeah.
And it's in mint condition.
Oh, yeah.
So we got to put this in plastic immediately. I'm going to treasure this until the day I die, and then my children will treasure it.
I was thinking you might be buried with it.
It could come to that.
Right?
It is that pristine. Ladies and gentlemen, the first issue in what I'm sure is going to be a many issues for my birthdays from Mr. Keith White Jr.
I'm going to have to track him down, but we'll do it.
Strawberry shortcake, ladies and gentlemen.
Number 1! Woo!
We're gonna take out.
It's your birthday. Oh,
We're gonna take down
it's your
Mad
birthday.
Dog. We're gonna take down Mad Dog. I almost took down G.I. Robot, but I decided not to take down G.I. Robot.
Okay.
So we took down Mad Dog, and we're gonna put Strawberry Shortcake.
Whoa! So now, from now on,
right here.
every episode here in the bunker, you're going to see strawberry shortcake here up on the wall. This is, when I saw that, I thought, oh my God, that is Duran in a comic book. Look at it. Okay, see? These are this is strawberry shortcake, and these are her friends. Friend and
Butterscotch and lemon meringue.
Lemon drop, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he knew butterscotch. He knew it. See? I told you. This is the guy. And then up here, this guy here, I'll assume is the villain. He has a pie of some sort. He probably wants to make them into a pie. At least that's what how I would write it.
That's Gargamel.
That is not Gargamel.
Gargamel.
He's going to have to read it to find out, though, won't he? Because it's number 1. So, I just wanted to present that to you.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right, we're going to take a sip to your birthday. And we are getting close to a close on this show, but before we go, we do want to check with our friend Nickel T. Buffalo.
Oh, Nickel T. How is Nickel T doing?
Nickel T is still at the Nerd Terminal.
Nickel T is living at the Nerd Terminal.
As long as quarantine is going, Nickel has decided to live at the Nerd Terminal in Cheektowaga, New York. It is a retro game, toy, video game, comic
It's a hub,
book.
if you will.
It's got pretty much anything if you're a nerd that you would love. And he has decided to move in to the Nerd Terminal. And we've been cutting back to him every week just to make sure he's okay. He seems to be getting along all right. The first week he freaked out a little bit when he couldn't get out. But since then he has really made it his own. So we are going to cut to him, see what he's up to right now. So, there's Nick. He's walking over to the Krypton Cafe to get himself a coffee. Coffee does sound good. Well, it looks like he's going to go around to the backside.
Well, he did say he was becoming comfortable with it.
Well, comfortable enough to go back there, and I think he's making himself a coffee. Which I guess if there's nobody there, you'd have to.
Yeah, I guess he's employee and customer,
right? Oh, and
now residents.
Putting it on the counter, walking back around. And picking up.
Hey! All right, Nicole. Good job.
All right.
Congratulations.
So there you go.
Hey, all right. Thanks, Nicole. That was much better than last week. Let me tell you.
Well, yeah, it's been weird. Nickel. I don't know. Every week he's doing something a little different, but he's keeping himself entertained and happy. I don't know that I've ever seen him that happy. So, now that we've seen Nickel, we've discussed just about everything there is to do, and I'm almost out of my shandy here, which is a real shame. So I guess
it's a shame shandy.
It's a shame shandy, which is a sadness shandy, which this is not, because this tastes like summer, baby. And even in the quarantine, when summer comes, you answer the call. I don't think that made sense, but I'm almost done with my shandy.
It sounded good to me.
See? So that's all that matters. So either way, we are just about done for the week. So for international best-selling children's author Keith White Jr. and main host of the show, I will say goodbye. And also goodbye from...
I am Lawrence Gomez, a.k.a. Duran Duran, a.k.a. the other also host of this show.
Right, who is a co-host and also the receiver of #1 Strawberry Shortcake. I'm telling you that there is never... You don't know anyone with this comic, is what I'm saying. You don't know anybody that has this.
I don't know anybody that has that.
Yeah, I don't think anyone out there really knows anybody. Almost nobody has it. This is what they call rare comics. So either way, you just remember that next year for my birthday is that I got you a rare #1. You don't have to remember what it was, just that it was a rare #1 comic.
Oh, not to outshine your gift, but if you recall a few months back, someone got Toxic Avenger comics that they had when they were a kid.
That's true. So I had to top that.
It did indeed.
And I believe.
And I am satisfied thoroughly.
So there you go. And that's when you end the show, when you've got a satisfied Duran. So again, international best-selling children's author, Keith White Jr., the golden Nicolas Cage.
Gomez, Morocco main event.
AKA the golden Nick Cage. This has been Tavern Talk. This has been Tavern Talk 716, and we'll catch you down the road or down here in the bunker. You are not the host.